bringing amazing art to our movement to save Great Salt Lake. And as she's leaving, hopefully temporarily, this is also a way to thank her and say farewell. So I'm going to turn it over to Nan, who's going to be our MC. Take it away, Nan.
I'm delighted to be here. Thanks for coming out. Wow. We must love the lake and the birds an awful lot. Thank you so much for being here. Just a few things to acknowledge before we start. Actually, let's sing together first. These are the words. You can repeat them after me. I am grateful to be. I am grateful to be. Heart beating, lungs breathing, joyous and free. Heart beating, lungs breathing, joyous and free. Even though the hard times are all around me, even though the hard times are all around me, I am grateful to be. I am grateful to be. We're going to sing this 3 times. Let me show you the tune, and then we'll sing it 3 times together, and you just join in how you can. If you don't know the words, you can hum. If you sing off key, sing louder. It really is everything we do. We make puppets out of trash. We bring the voices we have. They're imperfect offerings of love for our lake, who is the heartbeat, the heart and lungs, actually, of our ecosystem, right? And the brain, I think, and the spirit and the soul. Everything, really, is just right here behind us. The center. This is the center. So I'll sing the tune, then you can kind of hear it, and then we'll sing it 3 more times. As we sing it, the first time, let that be from your own perspective, but not from the I, from the we and the us, even though we're singing I, but just feel for the we. So from the human perspective. The second time, we'll sing it from the lake's perspective. And the third time, we'll sing it from the Phalaropes' perspective. And then I'll introduce our speakers. We have some awesome and short speeches to share. And then we'll sing one more time with the Josh Crainer's students are here, which is amazing. And they'll sing us home, okay? All right, this is how the song goes. I am grateful to be heart beating, lungs breathing, joyous and free. Even though the hard times are all around me, I am grateful to be. Please join me. I am grateful to be heart beating, lungs breathing, joyous and free. Even though the hard times are all around me, I am grateful to be. Great. From the lake. I am grateful to be heart beating, lungs breathing, joyous and free. Even though the hard times are all around me, I am grateful to be. From the Phalaropes. I am grateful to be heart beating, lungs breathing, joyous and free. Even though the hard times are all around me, I am grateful to be. All right. Beautiful. Yeah, cheers. Cheers for the voices that sing and speak for the lake. The lake has asked us to sing. When we sing, she sings back. You might listen for that today. Acknowledgement I'd like to make about this land and water. This is, in actually indigenous tradition, the center of the world and the origin of the world, where we are. And the people of this place, and by this place I mean not only the lake, but the wave-made world. And if you look around, even here on the mountain, you can read the shorelines, and you can see how the lake at her fullest expression made this whole valley and the whole watershed even spilled out beyond the borders that we think of as state lines. Just this great body, and that was just yesterday in geological time that she was at her fullest expression. So open your eyes to see the wave-made world, and then we know that this is the ancestral, unceded, and contemporary land of Shoshone, Goshute, Paiute, Ute, and Timpanogos people, sacred to Dene people, and many other people that I can't name right now, and the heart of the leadership that is taking us towards replenishment, reciprocity, restoration is coming from these people who have not lost their ways of knowing, and many of us are in an effort of reclaiming our ways of knowing and the ways of knowing that include our beyond human kin. And so today we're here especially for Phalaropes, beloved, glittering neighbors that summer here, this irreplaceable refuge so they can travel so far. Devoted fathers is one of their qualities. Amazing dervishes, if you've ever seen them stir up the lake for their food. These beautiful bird people, and we're all here on their behalf. It's really heartening. Thanks for coming. Dita Seed will be our first speaker, and she's with the Center of Biological Diversity, and she'll orient us, and then we have a few more people to hear from. Dita. Thank you, Dita.
Thank you so much, Nan. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I want to thank the partners that helped put this together, Utah Physicians for a Healthy Environment, the Utah chapter of the Sierra Club, Save Our Great Salt Lake, Making Waves, Utah Youth for Environmental Solutions, UYES, and LDS Earth Stewardship, and the Great Salt Lake Interfaith Action Coalition. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. So we're going to hear from people associated with those groups after me. But what I'm going to speak to right now is the legal action that my organization, the Center for Biological Diversity, is taking today to protect the Phalaropes. So over a year ago, a group of people, including my organization, filed a petition with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, seeking to, we want them to declare Wilson's phalarope a threatened species. Based on the science, the bird is very, very imperiled right now, and frankly, given the situation with the lake currently, where we're at 1,491 feet and going down, the situation doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon without some really assertive action by people in power who can save the lake. And so what happened after we filed our petition well over a year ago is nothing. Nothing happened. And so now we are taking legal action under the Endangered Species Act to compel the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to take the necessary action to protect this little bird that Nan described to you that is so important. And the importance of this bird goes beyond the bird itself. The fate of the bird is the fate of Wilson's phalarope is linked to our fate. Where go the birds, so go we. So if we lose the species, it's only a matter of time before we lose other species and before the situation at Great Salt Lake becomes so catastrophic that we can't live here and live healthy lives. The stakes have never been higher. This is absolutely the most urgent crisis Utah faces, which is why my organization is taking this very serious action to file litigation. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for loving this amazing place. Know that powerful love can be expressed by using the law. That's what we're doing today in part. But also by all of you engaging with your elected officials, speaking to your neighbors, making this cause very known, and calling consistently and assertively with power for action to solve the problem. So I'm going to turn it back to Nan. Oh, we have our list here, sorry.
Let's give Dita a hand. Besides what she's just said so beautifully, this is a demonstration of love. Where go the birds, so go we. Dita is the organizer, the primary organizer of so many things, including today. We're really lucky next to hear from Johnny Vasic, who's the executive director of Utah Physicians for a Healthy Environment, which has provided just a fundamental, essential witness, truth-telling, accountability. We're so grateful for you, Johnny, and please let us know.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's great to see such an amazing turnout. as the saying used to go in Utah, we live in a pretty great state. But of course, it's not without its challenges. My mom helped me had an appreciation for that growing up, whether she knew it or not. Being a single mother with 6 children was no easy task, and it was hard on the family finances. Being financially strapped, my mother had to be creative when it came to getting outside. So the Great Salt Lake became our version of lagoon, an amusement park. And so that's why, for me, protecting the Wilson's Phalarope, which need a healthy Great Salt Lake ecosystem to survive, is our canary in a coal mine moment. If we allow these birds and their habitat to disappear, we'll also be endangering life along the Wasatch Front for humans as well. The Endangered Species Act was passed in 1973 with overwhelming bipartisan support. Ostensibly, it was intended to protect wildlife and the natural environment they depend on. But humans may be simultaneously the most endangered and the most dangerous of species, in the greatest need of protection, and the species that is the greatest beneficiary of that Sentinel Law. The conveniences of modern life have insulated many of us from the reality that human life is still dependent on the preservation of the quality of the natural world. But even 50 years ago, it was recognized that preserving the biodiversity, genetic inventory, and iconic species of the natural world was synonymous with safeguarding human life. That's even true more now than it was in 1973, given how much more we know about the consequences of disturbing and degrading the Earth's environment. Yes, this lawsuit is intended to preserve wildlife, specifically the over 1 million Wilson's Phalaropes and the aesthetic beauty and ecological value that they contribute to wherever they migrate through the northern and southern hemisphere. But on a deeper level, this petition is also intended to preserve a safe and livable environment for the 2 million people who live along the Wasatch Front. Across the globe, humankind is marching deeper and deeper into a multi-faced environmental crisis. The entire scientific community is telling us that we are on the doorstep of irreversible climate catastrophe. We have learned in the last few years that the bodies of virtually every human on Earth, from the oldest to the youngest, and likely the rest of the biological world, has been contaminated with toxic chemicals, heavy metals, air pollution particles, plastic nanoparticles. It harms our health and well-being and shortens our life expectancies. For some of us, that contamination can be outright fatal. As a physicians group, we feel a moral obligation to do what we can to mitigate and disrupt this horrible trend. So let's start with protecting the Wilson's Phalaropes. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny. Really grateful to be reminded of our moral obligations here. Next, we'll have Adelaide Scott, who is a leader with Utah Youth for Environmental Solutions, an incredible, wholehearted advocacy group that has done so much to help protect and save the lake. So, Adelaide.
Hi, if I'm squinting, it's not because I'm not happy to be here. I'm thrilled. But, my name's Adelaide. To quote the late James Baldwin, youth must be the worst time in anybody's life. In the spirit of true teen angst, I find myself inclined to agree that it is, at the very least, the most frustrating. Especially today, in a time of such division and violence, it does feel like this must be the worst time in my life. That the sorrow of being unheard will triumph over any progress I try to make. I'm 17 years old. I can't vote and I don't pay taxes. Essentially, it kind of just feels like I'm yelling into the void. I'm sure we can all relate to feeling like nobody listens, especially those of us youth. I have a really great group of 6th graders behind me. Guys, how many of you feel like you're not always listened to? Raise your hands. Yeah. Hopefully it gets better. I don't know, though. One of the inevitable troubles of youth lies in the deception that we face day after day. We're told from the time that we can digest information just how much we are loved and just how much good we will do to the world and how much good the world wants to do by us. But then we sit and watch day by day as gun violence increases, as children are detained and separated from their families. We watch as our administration claims to care about women and children, yet conveniently ignore them once they are born, thus perpetuating the systemic failure of our future. We watch this same leadership bulldoze the rights of millions, and we watch hate spew from every direction like a leaky faucet. We watch the continual destruction of our planet in the name of profit, and everybody looks at us and says, "I'm doing this for you," ignoring our cries for help as they hold the proverbial shovel to dig all of our graves. It feels like from every direction we are engaged in a hate and disregard so potent, so thick and impenetrable that I often wonder if we'll get out of this alive. So what's the solution to this? We're here to talk about powerful love, and I kind of just gave you a whole downer speech. What's the solution to being told that we're loved as the grave is being dug? The solution is powerful love and deep connection. There's a difference between empty words and meaningful action equates directly to the power of connection. Loving powerfully is loving as a choice. I used to think that nothing about love was a choice, but I now recognize that the best kind of love always involves a choice. On the base level, we have the instinct to love and our predispositions as to how and who we love. But to love on a level that is self-sacrificial and truly pure, that is to choose. Saving the Phalaropes in the lake is about loving powerfully. It is about making the choice to love something regardless of the perceived value. The truth is, society will tell us that these creatures are not valuable, not worthy of our protection, simply because they offer nothing directly to us. It is this logic that has enabled the rampant destruction of the lake. We don't consider the beneficial use of water because we fail to see the life that it harbors isn't visibly our own. Fail to see. Because this is a failure to look and perceive, not an inability. Over the past year, I've had the opportunity to work with shorebirds via the Modus tagging program as a volunteer with Tracy Aviary. To engage with these species in a much more intimate capacity has opened my eyes to the fragility of their lives and ours, and the intertwinement of them. So it follows that, of course, I would tell you that our lives and their lives are one and the same, and that this ecosystem gives us more than meets the eye, that we are an integral part of the ecosystem. But even pushing this aside, it is precisely because they present us the opportunity to love without reservation or reason that we should care. Everything is worthy of love. All creatures are intrinsically valuable because they exist. Love is powerful and it is patient. It is also often out of the way and involves self-sacrifice, but it will always be the valiant and essential choice. By saving the Phalaropes, not only are we extending love to the lake, but we are also extending love to future generations. When you, change makers, politicians, the everyday voter, choose to save something smaller than yourselves, you are showing me that you want to save me and my future too. I believe deeply that most people at their core want to love. It doesn't matter our political affiliation, our gender, our sexuality, our race, class, or creed. Psychologically, one of the most incredible aspects of humanity is our ability to connect and cooperate. It is what sets us apart as a species. This is something that we share with Phalaropes, who are incredibly socially adept and communicative. As we've talked about, they're incredible fathers, good parents. They migrate, which is an incredible use of brain power. So they are communicative creatures. They're so much smarter than we give them credit for. This is something we share with them, and given humanity's exceptional disposition towards empathy and love, why shouldn't we extend this to all creatures? In a time where algorithms feed us polarizing information with every blink, the greatest thing we can do to promote unity is to rally around a cause and to truly communicate. I don't want to villainize anyone despite the failures our society perpetrates every day, because this only promotes polarization. And while anger is a vital part of the movement, it is anger that informs love, and love is arguably more important. There is a time to call out pain, and there is a time to educate, and today I'm choosing to educate, though tomorrow I may choose to be angry. I believe that we can get past our selfishness, that we can extend love to the lake, that you can extend love to me. To my legislators, lawmakers, voters, if you love me, let's rally. Let's commune together and get past our division. If you love us, save us. Saving our future starts with water to the lake now. It starts with powerful love. It starts with saving things that are smaller than us. It starts with love, with a choice to give up what you want to give us what you need. It starts with a choice to give up what you want to give us what we need. My coach and friend Aaron liked to say, more love now. So I'll echo that sentiment and tell you the same. I believe we need more love now. Thank you.
Wow, Adelaide, thank you so much. What a powerful speech. What a powerful speech. If you love us, let's rally. Let's rally, friends. We're really lucky to have our next speaker here with us. I know that she flew through the night to get here, and she's been a guiding voice and a voice of courage, love in action. And I don't really need to tell you who else she is. She's Terry Tempest Williams, author and friend of the lake. Terry.
Thank you, Nan. And can we just honor Aunt Nan one more time? You will not leave. You'll always be with us. Good morning, Adelaide. Thank you. This is what leadership looks like. This is what love looks like. This is what not just the future looks like, but now. I will follow you anywhere. You are 17. I just turned 70. And the lake binds us together. And I think the power of this moment is intergenerational. And that is where the power lies. The power lies in the lake. The power lies in the Phalarope. The power lies in us telling the truth. We were talking about what's another word for fight, because we don't want to say we want to fight. One of them was taking care of each other. Another one was love. What comes into my mind after hearing you, Adelaide, about anger is maybe what we're also talking about is not only putting our love into action, but holding our sacred rage. Finding beauty in a broken world is creating beauty in the world we find. The Endangered Species Act is an act of beauty, it's an act of compassion, and it's an act of humility. As we file this lawsuit on our petition to extend the legal rights to all species, not just our own, to live a life without harm, we could not be more serious. Every species, not just our own, has the right to live and to flourish and to thrive, especially within the greater Salt Lake community, the Great Salt Lake community. We are not the only species that lives and loves and grieves. As Great Salt Lake shrinks, the population of the Wilson's Phalarope population shrinks. Less water means less brine shrimp, means less food, means less survival. I know as a child we would come out and look at when the Phalaropes arrived, my grandmother and I, and it looked like feathered water. Now you go out to the causeway at Antelope Island and it's petals. Who cares? We care. I believe our state cares. I believe our leaders care. But many of our politicians and our political leaders say that the endangered species is for the birds. They're right. And today we want to make that a reality. By offering Wilson's Phalaropes legal protection under the law, legislators, politicians, and business investors will have to find the ways and means of getting water into Great Salt Lake immediately, not a decade from now. Not according to our timeline, the Olympics, but the Phalaropes, radius of critical care, which is a very different timeline. Each of us is holding a piece of the mosaic to ensure the survival of our sacred Mother Lake, interconnected and interrelated. The Endangered Species Act is an essential piece of that mosaic that represents those who speak in a forgotten language. We had good news last week. $200 million was committed by Governor Cox, business leaders, and the Duck Club. That is good news to restore Great Salt Lake by 2034 for the Winter Olympics. That's a welcome step forward. Another essential piece in the mosaic. But the Phalaropes cannot afford to wait that long, and neither can we. And that 10 years feels like a compromise. From what the scientists have told us, that we have 5 years. With the snow, we had another 2. That's 7. We cannot afford to wait. We are all living in the urgency of now. We are putting our love into action. As John said, the Wilson's Phalaropes are our canaries in the salt mine. They are vulnerable. They are struggling. They are suffering. What do they know that we are missing? The fate of the Phalaropes is the fate of our own. We have to have these hard conversations. We have to change the percentage that Ben Abbott, whom we love, said was 0 of saline lakes recovery. I don't believe that. I believe that we can change that percentage. And we have a powerful coalition, intergenerational, interdisciplinary, with sacred rage and with the fist raised high. For the Phalaropes, for the birds.
Thank you, Terry. Let's give it up one more time for Terry and for calling us to consecrate our sacred rage. We are not the only species that lives and loves and grieves and has dreams and plans and preferences. Our last speaker, we're so glad to have him here, is Mike Maxwell with LDS Earth Stewardship, a group who has shown up again and again. I've danced with Mike around the Capitol wearing brine shrimp. Really happy to have you here, Mike. And after Mike speaks, we'll sing it out together.
Hi, good morning, everybody. It's really nice to see this group gathered here. The young people inspire me. I'm a grandfather now, so I'm at that stage of life where, the grandkids are more inspiring. I've got some comments prepared. By being the last speaker, there are always people in front of you that say things that you were going to say, so you might hear a little repetition here, but that wasn't planned or coordinated, but maybe there's some common spirit guiding us here. My name is Mike Maxwell. As was mentioned, I lead the Salt Lake chapter of Latter-day Saint Earth Stewardship. We're a 501c global nonprofit that works with the Latter-day Saint community around the world on sustainability and conservation issues. I am also, though, a very active participant in the Great Salt Lake Interfaith Action Coalition, who was also one of the sponsors of this event. And I am thrilled to be here also representing them. I'm really privileged to work with this cross-section of Utah's faith communities. Our group includes Jewish, Unitarian, Catholic, Episcopal, United Church of Christ, Methodist, Community of Christ, Presbyterian, Baptist, Buddhist, Native American, Indigenous spiritual leaders, and then my own Latter-day Saint community. So I ask, what calls us to care for this obscure bird, this Wilson's Phalarope? I don't think I could even pronounce Phalarope a couple of years ago. I just still felt like I had to practice it on the way over here. Well, I'm going to share 3 points. First, as I'm representing these communities of faith, I'm going to highlight a theological call. In the earth creation stories of many of my friends in the coalition, there is a creator who is pleased with creation and calls people to be stewards of this creation. As an example, in the book of Genesis, the Creator calls the people to tend and keep what has been created. That is our call, to tend and to keep. My second point is more pragmatic. It was mentioned at least once already, maybe twice, the canary in the coal mine euphemism, and you've all heard that before. You probably know, but I'll tell you anyway. In past times, miners would pack canaries with them into their mines. And they did this so they had with them a warning system to identify when the mining environment, due to either toxic gases or insufficient oxygen, became threatening to life. When the air was dangerous, their canary would succumb to the toxic conditions, alerting the miners that they needed to take action to escape the life-threatening space that they were in. My Italian great-grandfather, Julio Pilate, came to Utah from Italy at the turn of the 19th century to seek escape from poverty and find a better life working as a laborer in Utah's silver mines. Great-grandpa Julio and his fellow miners would carry canaries into the coal mines and the silver mines. The canaries would alert Julio and his fellow miners when the conditions were becoming toxic. If they moved quickly, they could at least save themselves. The fact that I'm here tells you that Grandpa Julio was pretty successful. Today the Phalaropes can be our canaries. I think it's already been mentioned. As we lose these Phalaropes, what brings their end here will bring our end here. Without the necessary water in the Great Salt Lake, and that includes both the north and the south end of the lake, our valleys will become uninhabitable due to toxic dust and insufficient snowfall to support us. We need the Great Salt Lake to protect us from the dust beneath the lake. We need the lake effect snow produced by the lake to maintain the snowfall in our mountains, in our valleys. Over half the snow that falls in our valleys, and as much as 10% of the snow that falls in our mountains, would not fall if the lake were not here. We need the lake and its surrounding wetlands to survive, just like the Phalarope. My final point is this. Like many of you, I was really heartened to hear Governor Cox share his 2034 plan for the lake last week. What a story we'll be able to tell when the whole world comes to Utah for the 2034 Olympics. We, all of us, our community, did something that no other community in human history has done. We've saved an inland saline lake. And by saving the lake, we've saved ourselves and so much of the life around us, including the Phalarope. So many of you here today have contributed to these efforts. We need all in our community, urban and rural, residential, commercial, agricultural, people with religious faith and people without, to come together to support this crucial effort. I now dream of a world, or of the world, coming here in 2034 and hearing the incredible story of how rural and urban heroes came together to tend and keep this garden we live in. We saved the lake, we saved the Phalaropes, and we saved all of us. God bless you, and thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for giving us that vision of the future in which we save the whole lake, including the North Arm. Let's save the whole sentient, intelligent, singing body of this lake. Thank you, Mike. Okay, friends, we're here with the superstars who are also sixth graders, and they've been just so patiently wilting in the sun. And so before I introduce their teacher and they start singing, I want to ask you to just give them a wild cheer as they, yes, thank you so much, as they spread out the waves and get ready to sing. So spread out your waves to your neighbors and lift your Phalaropes high, and they're going to shake their fringe. What they're going to be singing, they'll sing a song and they'll invite us to join them. Their teacher, Mr. Josh Craner from Emerson Elementary. This is 5th year of really active advocacy. I don't know how many years of lake visits. I can't tell you how much this devoted teacher has lifted the voices of these amazing students who are just, they're irreplaceable. I'll use that word. They're going to sing, invite us to sing, and then together we'll sing one more song that the students have practiced. And the last one is really a sing-along. You can pick it up if you don't already know it, so don't hesitate. One more word. I know Josh is squirming because I just love to brag about him, but I do have to say this. This anthem that was written by Josh and the students years ago and has been sung at the Capitol, has been sung at the lake, has been sung at the main branch of the library, many other places, has just lifted the movement. It really is the anthem of the movement, and recently won the Alfred Lamborn Prize for sound. So give it up for Mr. Josh Craner and the sixth graders, everybody.
Do our part to keep the water flowing. Do our part for future generations. Do our part to keep the little brine shrimp in their home. We'll do our part to keep the rivers flowing. Do our part for countless generations. Do our part to keep the birds returning to their home. We can't just sit back and hope that things are gonna change. It's drying up now. We can't keep waiting for someone else to come and fix this. We gotta do something now. Are you down with the Great Salt Lake? Do you wanna see it survive? 'Cause we're down with the Great Salt Lake. We want to see it thrive.
Sing along if you know it. Do
Our part to keep the water flowing. Do our part for future generations. Do our part to keep the little brine shrimp in their home. We'll do our part to keep the rivers flowing. Do our part for countless generations. Do our part to keep the birds returning to their home.
Everyone.
We can't just sit back and hope that things are gonna change. It's drying up now. We can't keep waiting for someone else to come and fix this. We gotta do something now. Are you down with the Great Salt Lake? Do you wanna see it survive? 'Cause we're down with the Great Salt Lake. We wanna see it thrive. Are you down with the Great Salt Lake? We wanna see it survive. 'Cause we're down with the Great Salt Lake. We wanna see it thrive. We'll do our part.
Right? Thank you so much, students. Thank you, Mr. Craner. Thank you so much, students, for bringing your hearts and your bodies and to be here in the sun and be singing so strongly. It's so beautiful. We're going to go out with some jubilance. We offer the lake our presence. We offer the lake our reverence. And we also offer the lake our jubilance. So this is a song everyone can sing. It's to the tune of When the Saints Come Marching In, as demonstrated by our faithful brine shrimp accordionist, Amy Brunband, everybody. Let's cheer for Amy. Amy's just so great. And the students have practiced, so they'll help sing, but we really want you to sing, and it repeats a lot, but what we sing is, oh, when the waves come waving in, oh, when the waves come waving in, how I want to be with that water, and even though the water's far away, I invite you to gesture and find with your heart the water of the lake when we sing that. How I want to be with that water when the waves come waving in. When brine shrimp come shrimping in, this is the brine shrimp movement, practice everyone. You got it. Brine shrimp come shrimping in. When the birds come flying in is the third verse. Fourth verse, when Great Salt Lake rises again. When Great Salt Lake rises again, I want to be with that water when Great Salt Lake rises again. And when we sing that, let something in you rise. You know, let your heart rise, your wings, your spirit. Okay? Ready? Should we do it? Yeah. All right. Amy will lead us in.
Oh, when the waves come waving in. Oh, when the waves come waving in. Oh, how I want to be with the water. When the waves come waving
when my shrimp comes shrimping in. Oh, how I want to be without water. When my shrimp comes shrimping in. Birds, oh, when the birds come flying in. Oh, when the birds come flying in. Oh, how I want to be without water. When the birds come flying in. Great Salt Lake, when Great Salt Lake rises again. When Great Salt Lake rises again.